Did you know that sometimes water just isn't enough? While it can be very hydrating, a lot of people misunderstand and really undervalue the importance of electrolytes when it comes to their body's signals of what it needs and functions. So, whether you use something like, I don't know, this one from Amazon is Keto 1000, but there's many out there like LMNT, which I also use, or Halo or Ultima, whatever you choose as in transparent labs, but whatever you choose for an electrolyte powder is very important. Why? Because you need to think of electrolytes like the electrical system of your body. They help make things function properly. And while water can help hydrate, electrolytes can help make the body work. And what do I mean? So when we talk electrolytes, most of the time we're looking at calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Now, the key triggers to these things, right? So we've got to know. And a lot of you guys think sodium is bad, right? Sodium, will we need? Well, you got to also remember that your body needs to have sodium within the blood to help make your body move, function, muscles contract and expand. Same goes with potassium. And actually, even people don't realize that calcium does the same thing too. It helps your body function, not just your bones. So one thing that you need to realize is that high levels of sodium are probably needed for a lot of people that are, I want to say, overly inflamed, stressed out, or dieting or under eating. Why? Because if your body is not also getting hydration, you're setting yourself up for really a rough morning or day at the office. And what do I mean by that? So signs of not being hydrated. Well, we're talking things like maybe even dry skin, dry lips, you're fatigued, you can't even think, right? You've got those days where just your mind is not right. Well, instead of reaching for the coffee, you should be reaching for something like an electrolyte to help your body recover. So I want you guys to now remember also that the first thing that your body excretes when going through anything in life, whether you're breathing, working out, you're doing a presentation, talking to you, you're excreting these electrolytes. They're coming out of your body, right? And that's the thing that has to be replenished. So if you're noticing that your urine is really more of a tainted yellow, then your signs are that you're probably dehydrated unless you're taking some supplements that are making your urine yellow. Oftentimes I often see too that people at night are finding themselves always trying to drink at night or waking up in the middle of the night and they're peeing and they're then saying, well, I'm already drinking a lot. Well, you can be getting too much water and not enough electrolytes. Same thing with your sodium and potassium balance. That's also an important factor to note, that you still need to have potassium in your electrolyte blend. It can't just be jacked up on sodium. Why? Well, potassium is going to help also balance out the sodium in your body. So if you're jacking yourself up with sodium without potassium, which can come from things like your bananas, your fruits, obviously your leafy greens I love are great in potassium, avocados, but you're not then also balancing the equation. So kind of like your teeter-totter, right? So if you're laying all on the sodium is down here at the bottom, your body's not balancing that hydration. So we've got to balance that and make sure that it does help with that potassium intake in your electrolyte blend. So that's why that's important. And as for magnesium, magnesium is one of those best studied things that helps with obviously sleep and relaxation. It also can go into many different forms like glycinate that can even be an adrenal booster and help with the mind calming, sleep support. And that's huge because why? Not only do you lose a lot of magnesium when you're going through your daily activities, but you're also losing it when you're even doing psychological things, working at computers. Magnesium is excreted from the body all day long. So if you're not replenishing it with electrolytes, it's going to be a lot harder for your body to maintain homeostasis. So the sum of it, guys, is that you got to make sure that you are hydrating properly. And it's not just even those Crystal Light packets, right? They're not going to help you hydrate. It's going to help get water into your body, but it's not going to help with actually solving the problem if you're struggling with fatigue, struggling with building muscle, struggle with recovery. So you got to make sure that you do those right things. So like I said, most of the blends are going to be coming with things that help with calcium, sodium, potassium, potassium, and even magnesium. So those are the key ones to look at. And there's no wrong time of day to take them. I just suggest not doing it within an hour, hour and a half of bedtime, because you could be up peeing. But make sure you are taking them. And if you have questions as to why and how they're beneficial, then I would love to answer them. All right, so hopefully this helps give you some added value today.